Facebook, Zalo, WhatsApp, everywhere. We've all seen them come in droves. Travel and visa agents in Asia. Winning for life, am I right? So the big question is, where are the agents now? But first, let's break down what an agent is and what they did for Western people, and then we can find out where they're all hiding. What did agents do for Westerners? In short, agents help you with mostly just getting you a visa so you can get into Vietnam, Thailand, or whatever country you're trying to get into without having to go through all the process of dealing with the government. Speaking of the government, my 7-8 years living in Asia, mostly in Vietnam, the only way you could really get anything done in regards to your travel needs, like getting a visa, an extension, a business permit, anything like that, you had to really go through an agent because the government just made it so hard. There was nothing in like English, it was all Vietnamese. And when you finally found the paperwork, got it filled out, there wasn't really a person that would work with you that would get it stamped or processed. And honestly, it wasn't uncommon for schools like EMG, ILA, VUS, or again, these larger companies like Yahoo, Japan, to outsource the whole visa process to an agent and just get it done that way. This was also a big reason why there was such a wide range of fees to get anything done. From finding one agent to another agent, we were always kind of like price cutting and trying to find the cheaper deal. This was the reason why. You were filtering out different commissions that these agents were charging. The overall fee for a visa usually was like $10 or $15. A renewal was like $35, $40. I'm gonna retire in Vietnam. This is where agents came even more useful. And it wasn't hard to find these people because they were all over posting that they could give work permits, business visas, whatever visas you wanted, as long as you paid the fee. And this allowed people to stay in Vietnam long term. We're talking 1, 5, 10 years without having to ever work at a job, which is where this like misconception of I'm gonna retire in Vietnam came from. Fake visas and bad agents. And while we're on there, I mentioned 5 or 10 years. Agents went even further. If you're willing to fork out 20, 30, 40 million Vietnamese dong, which came out to a couple $1,000s, they would get you 2-year or 5-year work permits with TRC resident cards, driver's licenses, everything. It wasn't legit. So I've talked about this, and a lot of people watch this video probably have been in Vietnam for 3 to 5 years under this way. So the question is how do they even do this if it's not legal? If you're familiar with American business setups and stuff like that, I don't know if Australia and Canada are the same, but in America, we can set up an LLC, and we are the CEO, owner, the only person involved. This is a great way to do things when you're a real estate investor or if you do a YouTube channel. So what was happening in Vietnam were Vietnamese were opening up agencies, companies. If they owned a restaurant in their house, they would open it up into a government approved business. And a lot of these other people were just opening up businesses with no staff, no nothing. And they would hire people to go on Facebook and promote, hey, find Western people that need visas. Bring them to me, I'll give you 20% commission. This was ideally them putting you onto a fake company for work permits and business visas. And if this is sounding familiar, it should. This is what we would call a Ponzi scheme or a pyramid scheme even. Personally, knowing a couple people from way back then that no longer do this, had these types of businesses open. One of them being in Phan Thiet, one of them being in Saigon. Talking to them about how it was, the process was really these business owners that opened these companies, they knew somebody. So pretty much the process was these agents, as we call them, would be on Facebook saying, hey, we have all these fees, all these services. If you want something, message me. You messaged them, you gave them the documents as they were supposed to collect them. All these documents got put together. They were given to the owner or the representative of the owner, depending on how the company was set up. They would go to this official and they would pay the fee that they had to pay to them and get it taken care of. And then you would get your passport back or your TRC back or even your work permit back, and you were good to go. So you had a work permit or a business visa under a legitimate company with a legitimate visa stamp. I know this sounds kind of weird, like, okay, now the is involved in this. This was found out by the government eventually. How it took 10 years to figure this out sounds like it was more of a everybody's getting their pockets filled, so we're not going to say anything. Imagine in your home country if you open this company up really big and you hire like 300-400 people and you file your taxes, you just put a big 0 on that tax form. Your government's going to be calling you about, hey, what's going on over there? This is kind of what happened about 1.5 years ago. And a lot of people just call this the purge. So now that we know exactly what an agent is, what were the goods and the bads about the agents? The good, they worked faster than the government could in regards to immigration. They just somehow made things happen. They were easy to find. A Western person usually wasn't required to do a border run. What about the bad? They overcharged for their services. They used private documents, including passports, social security numbers, credit card information, posted it on Facebook and other social media forms as forms of their own personal marketing, which in the end cause identity theft for a lot of people. This process illegally linked your name, passport, and location to a fake paper company that could, at the end, get you blacklisted if you're associated with this company. So now we know what they do, we know the good, we know the bad, but do we even need an agent in 2022? So I can answer the question now pretty easy. Where are all of these agents? 95% of them are sitting around waiting for the government to change the rules back to the original, because Decree 152 pretty much eliminated their jobs, because now what their jobs are is extremely illegal and breaking a lot of immigration government official laws. Now, if you are working for a Vietnamese company, the company's gonna hire an agent to help them do the paperwork for you to them. In regards to walking through Bui Vin and just finding an agent yelling at you, hey, visa service, like none of that's going to be a thing anymore, unless again the immigration office changes their rules so we go back to illegal visas. So really at this point we're kind of locked down to only a few options to getting a visa in Vietnam. One, if you're working for a company directly, they will be helping you get it. The second option is if you're getting an online visa through an approved company that'll allow them to do an e-visa online. Check the link below to get your e-visas. This is where I get all my e-visas now. You do them online, it's very fast, everything's done through email. You pay everything directly through the website that gets paid to the governments directly, so you're not wasting time. You're not dealing with these agents that are cheating around with you. You're not dealing with governments. Fill out the form online. It takes 5 minutes and you're good to go. Doesn't matter where you go. They pretty much cover everywhere. This is the visa company I use when I've been traveling around Asia. I just used them to actually go to Vietnam recently, so it is all good to go that way. As of now, until Vietnam makes things different, this is going to be the only way to do anything in regards to getting visas in Vietnam. Is Vietnam going to open up visas past 30 days? Can you renew an e-visa? Check my videos out up here in regards to the e-visa renewal process. I'm going to kind of spoil it for you now. Maybe I hurt myself and don't get that view, but you can't. In regards to how to renew a visa, the only option that we have is a tourist visa, unless you're working in Vietnam, is to pretty much border run. And again, check the ivisa.com link below if you want to get that Cambodian and get that Vietnam visa before you do the run. I strongly suggest getting your e-visas before you go to the border. Hopefully this video helped you out, and hopefully it answered the question that this is what happened to agents, because this was the only way people will really stay in Vietnam long term without actually working. But if you do appreciate the information, you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button so you can follow along with other videos of my travel and information videos. Leave a comment below if you have any other questions in regards to this stuff. I'll answer them the best I can for you. But till then guys, I'm out. I'm at the beach. I will see you again.